Hi, folks. I'm David Henderson, president of Cyberstreams. We're your neighborhood IT department. And I have with me here Darby Crumpus, who is vice president of Trinity ERD. Uh, Trinity signed up as a client of ours a few months ago, and I've had some various interactions with Darby that just left me really impressed with her style and approach to things. And thought I would spend a little time chatting with Darby about a topic that I think both of us really kind of live and breathe in our businesses and how we present ourselves. And that is how you do anything is how you do everything. So thank you, Darby, for joining us here on this. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for inviting
yeah,
me. Pleasure to be here.
great. Hey, on that how you do anything is how you do everything, Darby, what does that mean to you in, running Trinity ERD and coaching and training and working with your staff and clients? What does that phrase mean to you?
What I think of initially is integrity. And you and I have talked a lot about various different ways that we achieve the goals that we set for ourselves and for our business. And to approach anything that we do, we have to bring to the table a level of expertise based on the type of work that we do.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody who offers any service brings a level of expertise, and if we could do things ourselves, we wouldn't hire people to do them for us. So
Mm-hmm.
that means that you have to bring a level of integrity and a measure of quality and organization and structure and
Right.
professionalism to what you are trying to accomplish in order to achieve the end goal of being a success in your chosen field of business. And
Great.
that comes with integrity.
Right. Great. Yeah, earlier I was talking about Robin Robbins, who is my marketing guru and one of my personal heroes, and she repeats that phrase over and over again. And one of the things that she talks about is it constantly says answer the phones live. So if you call the technology marketing toolkit, that somebody is going to answer the phone on the first ring. And that person is going to be very knowledgeable and know how to direct your call. Picking those things in your life and your business that you present and display to your audience, right, helps them to understand how to expect to interact with you in all things.
Right.
And one of the things I was saying to you in some of our interactions is things don't always go well. We make mistakes. You reach out and you don't want to sit around and bitch about what happened. You want to have a conversation about how we partner together to make it successful. And I think that's one thing you do over and over and over again is fair and firm. You know what you want, you know how to get there, and you're going to partner for it. And I really respect that. So,
one of my first jobs was at a fast food restaurant, and this is something that I will remember forever and have really taken with me is once you reach a point when you're in a managerial role, you have a level of authority. And when I was there, there had been a spill, and I had recently been promoted to a managerial role. And I was upset and wanted to know who made the mess. And what was more important, and what the owner pointed out to me, is in a managerial role, it doesn't matter who made the mess. You have the authority to tell anybody to clean it up. And then they will figure out who made the mess, because they will sort out the mess that they had to clean up on behalf of somebody else. And I didn't ever want anybody to clean up after my mess, but B, to waste the time chasing somebody to figure out who did it if it's not necessary. And so taking that with you, it's don't leave a mess for somebody else to clean up, and be kind and asking others to clean up somebody else's mess, and they will find out whose mess it was and let them know that they didn't want to clean it up again.
yeah, that's a great story, Darby. That is a great story.
It's being
So,
solution oriented, really. If you're focused on the solution and getting to the end game in a collective and collaborative way,
mm-hmm.
then the solution will find itself.
Yeah.
Without a lot faster than in other ways.
Uh-huh. Hey, the other day I was working late It's about 6:30, and I was in Teams, and I have you in Teams so I can see it when you're at your desk. And I noticed you're at your desk maybe a few times. I know you're putting in the hours right now. You got a lot going on, growing. Um, just not enough time in the day. How do you prioritize what to work on when it comes to this kind of topic, right? I mean, you must have to work with your staff and employees and impress upon them integrity and train and get this notion to people's heads that I was mentioning earlier, that Robin stresses cleaning your fingernails before you meet with clients, right? I mean, that how you do anything, right, displays everything. So how do you prioritize that in your day-to-day work?
Uh, with many tools. We work in an environment where we do solve problems, and some of them are emergent for the clients that we service. And so you start with a schedule and goals to achieve during the week, during the day, during the month. And as the phone rings, and my business partner and mentor has also said the same thing, business gets done by picking up the phone, by talking to people, by building relationships. And you rely on those relationships when you need to reorganize or reprioritize, because the phone rang and there's an emergency today that takes precedence over things that are in the schedule already. It's a daily triage of things that has an administrative staff that is very supportive and helps us get things done. The team you build helps to achieve things, but the tools that are in place, the to-do list, the prioritization list, the structure, the discipline needed to try and achieve what's there, and then the honesty about realistic goals. Today, a report will take a little bit longer than it might have 2 years ago because of where we're at and how we're achieving what we get done, or the workload that we have, or the current schedule has people out of the office. So conveying that and being honest in setting the expectations of the clients is part of that as well.
It's a great answer. Thank you for that. So, last question for you. As we talk about this, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Could you share with us a little real world story about, how you've interacted with that? You tell a great story about working at the fast food restaurant, and it's funny. I often quote people that I've worked with over the years, over and over again, that have taught me great lessons and brought me to where I am. But do you have a good story for us about how you do anything is how you do everything?
Gosh, we've been sitting here chatting, and now I'm drawing a blank.
Have you had a client come to you and ask you for something that they just shouldn't want or need, and you've had to turn around and counsel them on the right way? That can be very uncomfortable. We talked about that earlier, right? Where you said integrity. Well, if they're asking you to do something that isn't right for them, is it integral to follow through on that? Have you had that experience?
Well, how you do anything is how you do everything. We are in the business of building science, and building science has protocols and standards to achieve what we do. There are processes and procedures. We learn scientific method in grade school on how to have a hypothesis and then prove the hypothesis. In the industry that we're in, being tied to those steps and the science is really important. And it is very easy after years of experience to believe you know the answer based on experience rather than let the scientific process play out. And so to be sure that we are following that scientific method every single time we go and conduct ourselves, whether it be a test that we're trying to do of an air barrier system or a window system, or an investigation related to a leak. There are times where it feels like it would be simpler to short circuit that because you think you know what the answer is as to why something isn't working right. But the reality is the process is there to be sure that you can stand behind the results and provide a quality product at the end of what you do. And so having a structure and a methodology and a way to achieve what you need to achieve in order to provide a service that's the quality service somebody is paying for is part of what has to be done, especially in a scientific environment. If you paint that brush over professionalism or anything. You know, we hire people to do the things that we can't do ourselves. And so you have an expectation that they will follow a procedure, a process, a code, a standard, to make sure that what is achieved is what is expected. And if you have a mantra, a method, a system, a protocol, that's how that gets achieved.
You know, as you're telling that story, I was reminded of watching a program about family businesses, and they spoke a lot about getting a contract. So a father and a son getting in a business together, and then actually writing up a really good partnership contract, so that if they argued with anything, they argued with a contract. And In a sense, scientific method, procedures, certifications. You know, I like the way you frame that up to where I can hold my client accountable by holding what they're asking me for to the procedures and policies that are out there, right? You don't end up arguing over opinion, you argue over fact. I love that answer. It's a great answer. I
Yeah,
wish I had more of that in my business.
it's like Dragnet, just the facts, ma'am, just the facts.
Well, Darby, gosh, thank you so much for doing this. I know I've said a few times that I've, in my interactions with you, I've learned to really hold you in high regard. I, uh, I respect you as a leader and a client and a partner. And When I talk about you around the office, fair and firm are the words I often use there, because I know we all stumble,
We all stumble.
right?
Very.
And how we
We have to
approach
give.
those.
We always have to give the grace you want to be given, right? The golden rule matters, and the golden rule isn't do to others what they do to you. The golden rule is do to others what you want have done to you. So, grace, forgiveness, a little room, some space to trip and fall, all of that needs to be part of what we offer to each other. So, in the business of being professional and compartmentalizing emotions from getting the work done, at the end of the day, we're all still working with humans, and there is a level of emotion. And so that grace and forgiveness is very important.
Well, what a great way to wrap up the week. Appreciate your time very much. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you.